Pole position sees Lucas Ellingham with a perfect record thus far alongside Stephen Napier, Scott Smith and Charlie Walsh on row 2, Tristan Rennie and Declan Russell on row 3. Les Taylor starts 7th. He's alongside Nathan Smith with Gary Bird and Jack Lilly completing the top 10. Teeside champion Daniel Kell, he starts 11th alongside Ryan Garvey with Thomas Wood and Rhys Duthie on row 7. Row 8 sees James Wood alongside Stephen Richardson, our leading 177 runner. He's in front of Tyler Jex and Stephen Horner with Andrew Powell and Shane Collinson completing the top 20. Dougie Cowan, he's 21st alongside Andy Collinson with Keith Mason 23rd alongside the 95 of Paul Swan. Zach Bolton is 25th alongside John Knox. Tom Reeve, Scott Lowther, Emma Brown and Ashley Savage complete the top 30. Then we have Adrian Smith, Chris Miller and Alexander Mikos, our 33rd place runner in this senior Rotax final. They've left the dummy grid. They're already making their way round Ashby's. We hope for a clean first start here. It's been shown some huge gusts of wind.
50-mile-an-hour winds out there at the moment, potentially.
Well, they'd probably drop to 40 if we stopped talking.
He's properly on it today, isn't he?
Oh, we've not been together on comms for a couple of months, Tom. I've been saving these up.
You have.
Some of my best material.
Yeah, it's been going well, mate. Going well.
2 more races then, as the...
I personally think you're peaking too early. I saved mine for the summer series.
Oh.
There's a whole year of these jokes yet to come, folks, so stick with us.
Support coming in then from Zach Bolton from both the UK and the USA. Wishing him the very best. Let's see if we can get this one going at the first time of asking. The lights are out and it's away and racing in senior Rotax for 10 minutes of final action. And Lucas Ellingham has already bolted in the 199. And his run down to Christmas Corner sees an emphatic slide, and he's into the lead already. A couple of them have overcooked it. Scott Smith goes off all by himself from 4th place, and he's going to struggle to get back on the track before the entire pack goes through.
Yeah, look, as you said, David, that slide from Ellingham was
majestic.
It was a thing of beauty, wasn't it? Just complete cart control.
The confidence that
he wasn't the only one either.
No.
It was just that he was at the front of that queue.
Yeah, the confidence that you have to sort of do that when you are first on track as well. There was another arm up there in the middle of the pack.
Keep an eye on what happens with that. Oh, lovely move there. Coming out of the boot, the 73 on the 29. So that is
Tristan Rennie, Tom, making his way through.
Oh, hang on. I'm looking at Senior Pro Kart. That's
No.
I wonder why the numbers didn't match.
Rennie then in 2nd place now, making his way past Stephen Napier for 2nd place. And Tristan Rennie, let's see whether he can reel in Lucas Ellingham. And Ellingham was quickest on the previous lap by 8/10, but at the same time it was Tristan Rennie there making just, you know, a huge change in direction just to get that kart stopped. And let's see whether now he's up into 2nd place, whether there's anything he can do about Ellingham.
Well, Rennie was very quick in heat 2, had problems in heat number 1, but had a very, very quick heat number 2. So that's why is where he is in 2nd place at the moment, or where he qualified, shall we say. And it's whether that speed is going to be enough to catch and overhaul the absolutely flying Ellingham.
Yeah, so Ellingham in his first run out in a Rotax, normally in the X30 machines here at Wilton Mill. The reigning champion, in fact, in X30, as the 46 of Declan Russell makes his way past Nathan Smith. And the gap, half a second on timing.
And you can see the differing line now that they're having to take, because it's so wet at Christmas Corner. They're having to take a completely separate exit, as we've got another one going across.
Scott Lowther
nearly taking the cameraman out.
Oh, there's the back.
And that's exactly what our cameraman thought of it. Oh, so we got another one round here on the outside of
Paul Swan, I think, is
coming
that.
out of the
It
Incoming
is.
King.
That's 95 of Paul Swan. I'm fairly sure the director's queuing a replay up of that from our cameraman.
Deary me.
Less than impressed with having his barrier skittled there on the outside of Crook.
There we go. That was your replay of the cameraman's actions. Oh, and we've lost a wheel. It's all going off here. Senior Rotax.
Who does it belong to? It belongs to the 68. Nikos.
Yeah. Deary me.
That's going to get dragged away.
Like a power cut in a milk factory, David. It's all going off.
I make the jokes around here, Thomas.
Oh, dearie me. Right, well, as you can see, very, very wet conditions now. We're starting to get rooster tails off the carts as they're heading down the straights and through the corners as well, off these wet tyres, these wet treaded tyres, throwing the water now up into the air. Not quite standing water, puddles and things like that yet, but the track is getting much, much wetter. And there, in fact, you can see it visually now, spray coming off the back of these carts. It is Ellingham from Rennie. Ellingham's taking a personal best on that lap round as well, despite the extra wet conditions.
Napier's closing in as well, Tom.
He is
third.
indeed.
He's coming back into this.
Then you've got Walsh, Taylor, Russell, Smith, Wood, Lilly and Bird.
And you think Napier qualified pole in very wet conditions yesterday in our qualifying session that started at 3:30 yesterday afternoon. So if there is one driver that's really going to appreciate this additional wet weather, and that's Rennie. Tristan Rennie out of second place, facing the wrong way, and his trip to the podium hanging by a thread. He looks like he's going to have dropped behind Walsh, Taylor. Could he have got on back in front of Declan Russell? Certainly Nathan Smith as well. Could be down in 7th place for Tristan Rennie.
We will find out as they come across the line. Heading into the boot section now, that is Ellingham coming through pit bend, smashing over that curb and crossing the line with 5 minutes to go.
P5 for Tristan Rennie. He did get back on the circuit in front, did he, of Nathan Smith and Declan Russell as they changed place as well. So Rennie now still in P5, still within touching distance. We said it was hanging by a thread for that trip to the podium. He's going to try and go right the way around the outside and take a differing line. This is lining one up, Tom, for Ashby's. He's going to get the cutback and then he's going to go down the inside. Hard on the brakes, and P5 could become P4 as they go into that tight corner, although round the outside goes the 57 of Les Taylor. Just holds the position, and Tristan Rennie still in 5th place. Charlie Walsh inherits 3rd, and as it stands with 4.5 minutes remaining of this senior Rotax final on the final step of the podium, as Rennie trying with every corner to get back past Les Taylor.
Yeah, what I was going to say is you can now see the differing lines. For those of you who are new to watching the channel, new to watching karting in general, you can see the differing lines that they were taking, particularly in and out of Christmas Corner. So they will go into Christmas Corner on the right-hand side of the circuit, the left as we look down the hill. This is it. So on the left-hand side here, in the middle of the circuit, and then they will cut across and hold it very, very tight on the exit. That's what you can see.
Rennie up into 4th then with a move on the brakes. Could be 3rd as well. Bouncing over the curbs and bounces into 3rd place for Tristan Rennie. Charlie Walsh having to drop back into 4th. And who's that joining us on the back as well? Looks like Nathan Smith, having got past Declan Russell, is now moving forward. One of the quickest drivers on the track, Nathan Smith.
And there he goes, up the inside, potentially taking 2 places, and does. Takes 2 places through Ozier's corner.
Yeah,
comes out in a net P4, but P4, P5?
Could be, it's going to be P4 because that's Les Taylor behind you was 4th, so he's going to come through. And even bouncing across, Tristan Rennie is moving away.
It is P4.
And Nathan Smith did lose a second in terms of lap time, just making those 2 overtakes, but is the driver that's on the move. What is also on the move is that awning.
That's potentially blowing away. I'm glad it was tied down at least.
Rights itself, doesn't it, sometimes? we certainly know how to segue here at Alpha Live.
It's like we write this stuff, isn't it? Wow, amazing.
Real-
so you
real
can see
ti-
how windy it is now, and that is the 50-mile-an-hour gusts that are now taking hold
And
of the circuit.
you laughed when I said that a Biffa bin might end up on the podium because of the wind. Orning nearly did. There's the 57 and the 39, Taylor and Walsh. That's been a race-long battle, albeit at one time it was for third. Now it is for fifth place. Nathan Smith trying to close in on Tristan Rennie as Stephen Napier sets the fastest lap of the race. 0.6 quicker than Lucas Ellingham. Well, the gap is 1.6 seconds now with 2 minutes remaining. Thank you for joining us. If you are out there, either on circuit, if you've had your final already, please get in touch with us. Go onto the Alpha Live website, in fact, and tell us your story of a wet and cold weekend here at Wilton Mill. Doesn't matter whether you've had a terrible time in terms of, issues on and off track, or whether you've taken the victory. Let us know via the stories section of the Alpha Live website. Give us a like and subscribe as well. There's hundreds of stories on there. If you go right down to the bottom as well, there's an actual part where you can fill in via the website and just press a submit button. Tom's going to draw my attention though back to the on-track action. Yeah,
Thomas Wood just moving through on Charlie Walsh there at Ozier's. Teammates overtaking each other, and it looks like Thomas Wood is going to get his head down now and move forward, working onto the back of Les Taylor as well. So Thomas Wood moving up through the field over the last few laps, overtaking Declan Russell as well.
Personal best, Tom, and is a lap quicker than Taylor.
And there he
goes. Last time round.
Up the inside already into Christmas corner. Can he hold it tight, get that drive on the dry part, on the non-rubbered up part of the circuit, the stickier bit where there's grip, where that tarmac has been worn away and you've got the rough edges of the stones. That's where the grip is.
It's Tom Reeve in the number 3 machine, allowing the quicker carts to make their way through. 23 seconds remaining. The leader, I think, will already come through to take another lap. So we are going to have 2 more laps, and Ellingham pumps in the fastest lap of the race, a 57.7, the only driver to go into the 57 so far today, at a time when he needed it because Stephen Napier had been closing him in at a rate of about 0.4 a lap. So that was what Ellingham needed, though he just bounced over that inside curb, and we've seen that catch out 1 or 2 drivers already, although Ellingham does know his way around over that curb, I'm sure.
But what he did was he went all the way over it, and then he used the inside edge of the curb to then rail himself round it. It's when you just get on the curb that's when it causes problems and causes you to spin. He knows his onions around here, does Lucas Ellingham, definitely. That's the way. If you're going to go on the curb, you've got to get all the way over it.
Yeah, effectively use it as a rail to drag you around the corner.
Exactly that.
Time has elapsed, so the last lap board will greet Lucas Ellingham as he comes round the boot for the penultimate time, sliding the 199 machine in JDR kart. And lap times, Tom, have dropped by about half a second, so we could be getting another shower of rain. Certainly enough that the senior pro kart final on their slick tyres are going to have something to think about.
And there you see him again using that inside curb all the way over it.
Lap traffic in front, but I'm not sure they're going to catch that before the checkered flag comes out. And if they are, Tom, it will be down at the boot section as we...
Napier's certainly keeping Ellingham honest. I know we're on the last lap and there's only about half a lap to go, but Napier has kept him very honestly this race. It's not been an easy, Ellingham hasn't been able to sort of take his foot off and take it easy. He's had to push every single lap. And Tristan Rennie, don't forget, had a spin, was facing the wrong way, had to recover, and is still only 6.7 seconds behind as well. A little salute from Ellingham. He's confident.
Yeah, the JDR runnings down there on that little section between the kink. Both arms forward. Lucas Ellingham in his first outing in Rotax. It's a successful one for the 199. He takes victory from Stephen Napier, with Tristan Rennie completing the podium in senior Rotax. Nathan Smith and Tom Wood, the top 5. Then Charlie Walsh. John Knox with a sensational drive back through the field for 7th. Chris Miller as well. They both started the race down towards the tail of the field. Gary Bird and Declan Russell will complete the top 10 here at Wilton Mill for round 2 of the Teeside hosted winter series. Noticeable spray coming off these wet tyres, Tom, as we head towards our final race of the day. comments coming in still as well from Connor Botting. He can't wait to get involved in the Pro Kart grid at Teeside Sprints this year, and he'll be out at the British 24 Hour as well, as they run a number of teams. Keep an eye out for them at the British 24. They'll be easy to spot. They run 113, 213, 313, 413, all the 1-3s. They just run all of those in the British 24 Hour. Couple of karts to be recovered then, but it lines us up nicely for the final race of the day here at Wilton Mill. It's Senior Pro Kart.